Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Tat2d Preacher. In this video, I got a really cool story about a young George Washington. Now, I was recently scrolling through Instagram and came across a video of Ben Carson. He was asked to tell the story about George Washington called the Bulletproof President. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. And he proceeds to tell this story that was like, it was like shocking. It was like what you would see in a movie. And so I just want to quickly share that story because I really think it's got some awesome truth in it that can encourage both you and I today in our lives, in our walk with God, and just to know that, like, at the end of the day, God's in control. All right, so check out this story. It's called The Bulletproof President. So in 1755, during the French and Indian War, George Washington served as an aide or a courier to British General Braddock at the Battle of, and I don't know how to pronounce this, the Battle of Monongahela. I don't know. The British force was ambushed by French and Native American warriors in the dense wilderness, leading to chaos and devastating losses. Now, Washington, a 23-year-old colonel, displayed remarkable bravery, riding through the battlefield under heavy gunfire to rally the disorganized troops. Despite the overwhelming danger, two of his horses were shot out from under him, and his coat was pierced by 4 musket balls, yet he miraculously remained unharmed. So there was 4 bullet holes in his jacket, but they never pierced his skin, remained unharmed. Crazy. Years later, a Native American chief who had fought in the battle recounted that he had specifically instructed his warriors to target Washington, recognizing him as a leader. However, none of their bullets could strike him, no matter how hard they tried. The chief believed that Washington was supernaturally protected and destined for a great purpose. This incredible survival story, viewed by many at the time as evidence of divine intervention, became a key moment in Washington's early career. It solidified his reputation as a courageous and resilient leader, while also symbolizing the belief that he was destined to play a pivotal role in American history as the father of the nation. So, dude, on his horse, riding around, going after, rallying the troops, getting shot at every which direction, jacket getting bullet holes in it, where there's like a native chief who was like telling his dudes, target this guy, pepper him with musket balls, piercing his clothes but never touching his skin. It's a crazy story of God's providential, God's sovereign protection over Washington during this battle. And so I heard that story, and it struck something in my heart, because I'm just like, so often, so many people live their lives with so much fear. You know, fear of something bad happening, fear of never living out their true destiny or purpose. You know, fear of not making it. And you hear this story, and it's a great reminder that at the end of the day, God's in control. And if God has a specific purpose or a plan for you, He's fully able and capable to protect you and to see you live out everything that He's destined you to live out. Like, nothing can thwart His plan. Like, He can prevent bullets from grazing you. bullets that could pierce your clothing but not touch your skin. Like, that's something that only God can do, because Washington had a plan, or God had a purpose for Washington's life. And he wasn't going to let this war and what was going on stop that. He was sovereign. He was in control. And it also reminds me of King David. I mean, this guy was like, he was anointed as king. But for year after year after year, after him being anointed as the rightful king, he spent years on the run, years hiding in caves, years hiding in the wilderness, getting hunted by King Saul, having to go and hide in enemy nations, having to pretend like he's crazy so that enemies wouldn't kill him. Spent so many nights. I mean, if you read the Psalms, lamenting to God, like, God, do you see me? God, are you here? God, why are you letting my enemies pursue me? Why does it seem like the enemies are winning? And in Psalm 27, though, he says this. He's writing. And he says in Psalm 27, verse 5, "For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock." See, it didn't matter how many enemies were hunting David. It didn't matter how bleak things looked. God was his refuge. God was his safety. God was protecting him, and David believed that. And God's sovereign protection over David got him through all of those years of being on the run, living in hostile territory, under hostile circumstances and situations, until that one day where he stepped into his position as king. George Washington, hostile conditions, hostile circumstances, riding through literal warfare taking place all around him, bullets flying everywhere, bullets hitting his clothes but not touching him. Why? Because he had that moment that God had destined for him to be the president of the United States. His protection got him through that day. And so if you're watching this, I want you to know that God is protecting you, that there's things that God wants you to do in your life. And it may seem like there's a war breaking out around you, not literally, but maybe metaphorically speaking. Things are difficult. Things are tough. You have no idea how you're going to make it through. You have no idea maybe what God even wants you to do. You have no idea what his dreams for your life are. But I can promise you this, that he's watching out for you, and he's protecting you, and he sees you. And there's nothing that no enemy can do to thwart the plans that God has for you. If you're faithful, if you keep looking to him, if you keep searching for him, if you keep doing everything you can to be obedient to him, God's going to get you to where he wants you to be. And so I hope that this story is encouraging to you to know to keep going. Don't give up. It says in Psalm 27:14, the very last verse in this psalm, it says this. It says, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord." And I pray that God would fill your heart with courage to keep going and to believing that he's going to get you to the exact place, to do the exact things that he's called you to do. Well, that's it for this video. I hope it was encouraging to you. I hope it blessed you. Please let me know down below, comments, questions about this topic. Would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching this, and we'll see you all in the next video. Much love.